it was just one of those things where it was like, do you want to make this work? Like, do you think that it's me, or is it something with you? Like, are you scared, or is it really me? Like, is your perfect person somewhere out there? Is it not me? And yeah, he came to the conclusion that he didn't think it was me.
Rachael Kirkconnell is speaking out following her shocking split from Matt James. The 28-year-old appeared on Tuesday's episode of Alex Cooper's Call Her Daddy, where she tearfully revealed for the first time why he broke up with her.
He said that at the end of the day, there were just qualities about me that he worries about having in a wife. Like, at the end of the day, like, there are things that we aren't compatible.
But still, when Matt abruptly called things off, she says she was blindsided because they were talking about the next steps on their recent trip to Tokyo.
I mean, literally a few days before, we're talking about how he feels lucky to have me as a partner, and that, there's just like so many qualities that he loves that I have, and that, we see relationships with other people where they deal with a lot and um or put up with a lot of things, and he's like, it's just so nice that, I just feel like very lucky that I can call you my partner. And that was so crazy to think, like, that was like 2 days before the breakup.
She then went into detail about their dinner together in Tokyo and how she felt she disappointed him when she picked a bad restaurant.
Explained to him, I'm like, I felt like I had let you down. Like, I felt like that was disappointing, and I hate going to a place that isn't somewhere that like you could post about. I feel like it's a waste. And he just was trying to tell me, like, it's not that serious. Like, it's not that big of a deal. But then he was concerned about me getting so upset. He was like, that was like, there was no reason for you to get upset like that. And he found it concerning that I got that emotional, I guess. And so then and he just was trying to express to me, like, if you get emotional about little things like this, like, what is going to happen in life when something really terrible happens? Like, how are you going to be able to react to things that are actually really scary or disappointing or sad?
The next day, Rachael told Alex things were originally fine, but then at a market in Tokyo, they got into one little argument that opened a can of worms.
Got back in the car, and I just was being really quiet. And he was like, can I ask, like, why you're being so quiet? And I was like, I feel like you're irritated with me right now, and I don't really like want to say anything if I don't have to say anything, because I just don't want to bug you. Like, I just don't really want to chat right now if there's nothing I have to say, because I just want to try and like give you your space, because I feel like you're annoyed with me right now. And that is just like what opened up everything. And we had gotten into an argument right then and there, like walking in the street. We skipped lunch. We went back to the hotel and just ended up having like a bigger conversation. I think that's what I was saying, like can of worms, where it wasn't a big deal. We were just a little irritated with another. But then it was like, okay, now that we're back here again, where like you're annoyed with me, I'm annoyed with you. I feel like you're in the wrong. You feel like I'm in the wrong. Um, he really just kind of let out everything that I guess he had been feeling for a while. I don't know.
She then went into detail, revealing some things Matt said to her during the split.
At the end of the day, like, there are things that we aren't compatible with, and like the whole accountability and saying sorry and all that was really the main thing. And yeah, it was just one of those things where I think, just had this realization that I should want to propose to you by this time. Like, at this point in our relationship, I should be wanting those things. And I should be ready for that, but I'm not still. I still don't feel like we're ready, or I don't feel like I'm ready. Um, I don't know if I ever see myself proposing to you. I can't actually see myself married to you. Um, he said that, maybe one day he would get there, but he doesn't feel ready now. And I told him, I said, well, I feel like after 4 years, you should know or you should feel ready. And if you don't, then that's not a good thing. We probably shouldn't be together if you don't feel like that after 4 years, because you know me better than anyone. I know you better than anyone. So you should know by now if you see this for the long haul or not. And it was just one of those things where it was like, do you want to make this work? Like, do you think that it's me, or is it something with you? Like, are you scared, or is it really me? Like, is your perfect person somewhere out there? Is it not me? And yeah, he came to the conclusion that he didn't think it was me, and that he said like he just didn't want me to end up resenting him by like wasting more of my time if it wouldn't happen. Um and yeah, he just said, you're beautiful, smart and funny, and you'll find someone, you'll find a guy that will love you for you. But yeah, he just didn't think that it was him. But it was just really it's just a lot to hear at once, because a few days before, I'm hearing the opposite.
Rachael also recalls being shocked when she saw his Instagram post on January 16th at the airport, hours after they broke up.
He did this right before he knew you were having to go to the airport to fly from Tokyo to Atlanta.
Yes. So that was, yeah, I just like couldn't believe it. Going to the airport, I was like, what the hell is happening?
Yeah. Like, were you in shock? Were
Yeah.
you crying?
Both. Just like pure shock, so much confusion. Obviously sad because of everything he just said to me. Very, very hurtful, which here's the thing. He's allowed to feel like that. If that's really how he feels, you're so allowed to feel like that. I wouldn't want someone to propose to me and be married to me just because they felt like they have to, even though they didn't feel like they wanted to. So at the end of the day, if that's really how he felt, then he is so valid to feel like that. And at least we figured that out before we were married or anything.
It also doesn't take away from the fact, Rachael, that like it seems like you were completely blindsided.
I mean, yes, it was definitely out of nowhere. I don't think he was planning on doing it. I think that it was one of those things where he just came to this realization during our argument. I don't know.
Matt didn't just surprise Rachael with the post. His cryptic message alarmed fans too, with some pointing out it was interesting he used a picture from their time on The Bachelor because the two worked hard to distance themselves from the franchise. Rachael weighed in on this too while talking to Alex.
I wasn't even like analyzing the post like everyone else was.
Yeah.
So I guess it was kind of funny just to see what people had to say. Like, people thought it was weird that it was a Bachelor photo because we definitely like tried to remove ourselves from the show. And yeah, it was interesting to see the caption only because I feel like there was I don't know how to explain it. I guess it almost seemed like saying it like a prayer was the easier way to say it than to like say something like real. Not that a prayer is not real, but just something like authentic to like our actual relationship. But it's very him. Like, I guess it didn't surprise me that he said it like that.
And she also revealed that she's since talked to Matt.
He definitely acknowledges that that was not the
right decision.
Now that she's had time to process, Rachael revealed she doesn't want to get back together with him.
I don't think I can, which is sad. I don't think I can because I think when someone says those things that he said, like, I don't think you're my person. I don't see us getting married. I think that's when you like have to call it quits. And then, yeah, just the way that he handled all of this and his posts and everything, like, I forgive him, but I just don't think I can be with someone that I felt like he disrespected me at the end of the day.
In the interview, Rachael also clarified some misconceptions throughout the relationship, admitting they actually never lived together.
Said that he didn't want to live together until we were married, and he's a very religious man, so I was like, "That's okay, I can do that." But at the same time, I'm a little confused because we're still, traveling together, staying in the same hotel, and it was like we were living together, like,
Yeah.
half of his stuff is still at my place in Georgia right now, but he always had an apartment in Miami or New York, so we were either in New York, Miami, or in Atlanta.
She also told Alex that they always seemed to be on the same page when it came to taking the next steps in their relationship.
Just confusing to look back on now, because when we would talk about things, he always seemed like he was on the same page, privately and publicly. Whether we were doing interviews or whether he was replying to people in comments, like talking about getting married and everything like that. So, yeah, I guess it's just hard to think about. It's just one of those things that you replay a lot over and over again, um, because the words were there and, us talking about taking the next steps, all of that was fine, but, the actions obviously weren't there.
Matt and Rachael met on season 25 of The Bachelor, which Rachael won in 2020, but briefly split after Rachael was caught in a scandal involving photos that surfaced of her attending an antebellum themed party in college. Then in May 2021, the couple rekindled the romance after talking things through. The two were then in a relationship for 4 years, and now that they've been broken up for over a week, Rachael told Alex how she was doing at the moment.
Different every day. I'm doing okay. I would say some days are better than others. Like one day I'm like feeling kind of empowered. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, it's okay. Like I'm excited to be on my own. And then the next day I like can barely get out of bed and I just miss him and I'm sad about everything. So yeah, it just comes and goes. It's different every day.